Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Good to see you guys. Welcome to SoulPet, everybody. All right, we got a whole crew going on here. Oh, lots of comments already. I can't wait to go through those. But let's do a quick intro real fast. Hello, everyone. It's Monday night. It's time for SoulPet. And my name is Elaine. I'm the Animal Reiki lady, and I'm an Animal Reiki master and animal chaplain. And this channel is dedicated to all of you who have gone through or are going through the loss of an animal companion. And if you're catching this on the live stream, know that there's a whole beautiful community of souls here that will support you. You can just look through the comments and you'll see. And if there's something that you would like a virtual hug for, go ahead and feel free to enter a comment, and you'll have a whole host of people giving you virtual hugs. So no matter where you happen to be on your journey, after your animal companion is crossed, this is the channel for you. And this is a live stream, so we do interact, and there's always questions that I like to go through. The questions come up as we're talking. It's meant to be interactive. I encourage you to interact with it. That can be distracting for some. For right now, excuse me, we're going to go through a little, I'll say hello to everybody and check out the questions that are already there, and then we'll move on to the topic for tonight, which is, it's about exploring our heart, the heart that goes beyond our physical body. It's the heart that is our spiritual vessel that holds the love. We'll talk all about that in just a moment, but it is exploring the heart beyond our body and how love can actually transcend all dimensions, how our heart transcends all dimensions. Plus a couple other things thrown in, which it may include. Now let's see, I'm just going to check who all is here. Kali, how you doing? Includes a little reading for Gary, and I'll explain why I'm going to do that just live like I did for Pudge. And hopefully, now remember last time when I did this live reading for Pudge, it was all about Nico. Everything that came up was for Nico, which was just so amazing. When that happens, I just go with the flow. Whatever animal is coming through and is needing the stage right here to deliver the message, that's what we go with. And I'm so grateful to Pudge for letting Nico's message flow through, which is to Charlie, right? If I'm not mistaken. So let's say hello to everybody first. Let's say hello to all of our channel members first. So if you are catching this live and you want to scroll ahead a couple minutes, you're not going to miss anything. Let's say hello, Pat, as always, the first one to comment. And I got to tell you, I turned off the leaderboard. Those of you who were on the live stream last week, you know that this odd little icon showed up next to those who were posting frequently. It was a little crown, and the crown said number 1, number 2, number 3. And it was, it's this new feature that YouTube is beta testing. I don't know why they picked this channel as part of the beta test. It was not a request. It just happened. It was random. And it's all about trying to get more viewers engaged with more videos. It's all about YouTube and getting more viewers engaged in conversation. That's not what this particular channel is about. Our particular channel is a community. It's not about competition. It's a community. So I turned off that leaderboard, but I don't know that you can turn it off. So I turned it off for us being a part of that competition, that like the universal competition. But I think in order for that badge to go away, you may need to disable it in your privacy settings. I'm not 100% sure. And I'm honestly not too worried about it because there's nothing associated with it. Right now, it is like nobody gets any extra little, nothing extra for having that little icon next to your name. You get these things called XP points. It seems pointless to me, but regardless, I turned the feature off. Fingers crossed that it does not show up. But if it does, we may have to come up with plan B. So let's say hello. And thank you, Pat, who like number 1, that you would have got the number 1 leaderboard here. So we're saying hello to Pat. It is good to see you here. And I'll come back to all the questions in just a moment. Let's scroll down to the rest of our members. Z, great to see you. Hello, hello. Dana, awesome to see you. Cheryl, Ms. None, your New York business. Welcome, welcome. And I scrolled too fast. Sherry, good to see you also. And Kathy H, good to see you. Sharon, awesome. Thank you for being here. Jody, thank you for being here. Who else have I got? Kali, I already said hello to you, and we'll be doing something for Gary, something special. Donna, it is so good to see you. Thank you for the compliments on the haircut and the color. I finally decided to bite the bullet. I was trying to go au naturel, and we can change our mind. That's all it comes down to. But I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so excited to hear from Gary. All right, so we got some good things. Let's go back up here. Now that's all my channel members that are here. Who are we missing? We're missing Kathy R. Um, uh, I don't remember off the top of, but anyway, so hello to all of our channel members. Now let's go back up. Charlie, it's good to see you. I see that you have some questions. I'll make sure to get to those. I think one of those questions I might not have the answer for, but I have given it some thought, and I may have come up with a potential answer for that. And did I say hello to Z? I think I did. Let's see who else I got. Julie, hey, hello, Florida Julie. And Lisa, good to see you also. Anybody else that I have missed saying hello to? I just love to say hello to everybody because this is a community and we all are on here together. We share our most vulnerable moments. We share some pretty vulnerable stuff. And, I talk some practical ways to help us deal with our grief and to help us approach things from a new perspective. And I also love to go down the rabbit hole. I explore everything, but whether it's science or spirituality and whatever it has to do with us on the other side. I forgot with this camera, when you make hand motions, it does things. It's blinking at me now. So I love to just blend that spirituality along with some practical things and also some scientific evidence. I don't need a scientist to tell me that our connection to our animals on the other side is real. They've proven it to me time and time again. But for others who are still on the skeptical side, I like to be able to provide some evidence that this is a real thing and that we are waking up. And I think our animal companions are being these amazing teachers. And that's going to be part of Gary's message too. And part of the message that comes through tonight, which is about our hearts and how the love in our heart with a capital H, not our heart with the lowercase h. Our heart with a capital H goes on and on. Part of this message was prompted by someone who commented. I haven't seen them regularly. They might watch. There's lots of people who watch without commenting, about having a dream. And the dream was about the oddest thing. She said, I don't even know whether or not to believe it. The dream was about who sings that song? I can't, my heart will go on and on. I can't sing. So, and it's Celine Dion. So she said she had a dream about Celine Dion and there was a heart on a napkin. And she said, if she was trying to tell me that our hearts go on, then I'll believe that. But that is the message. Our hearts will go on. And I think that I have some really cool information to share with you about that. But first, let's get to questions before we go any further with that. And we'll also make sure that we do Gary's reading. Yay for Pudge. Thank you, Pudge. I love that. So let's go back to the top. The 15th anniversary of Droopy's passing. And our heart is with you as always, Pat, as always. 15 years, right? Sometimes it seems like a lifetime. Sometimes it seems just like yesterday. I think about that with Lucy and Jack. Lucy was my first animal companion, not the first one to cross, but the first one who was a soul pet who had spent her whole life with me. She crossed in August of 2020. And I just can't believe that I'm coming up on the 5-year anniversary when it feels so fresh and so new. So 15 even, I think that's probably going to feel the same way. Pulled out the scrapbook today. Oh, right. Just to rekindle. That is a great idea, Pat. Doing something that rekindles. I often will. Some people may consider this morbid. I don't at all. I have bits of fur of all of my animal companions. And Jack had the most unique fur. I can take out his fur and just touch it, and it instantly creates a connection for me. Instantly. There's no separation. When I feel the soft touch of his fur, or like the time just a few weeks ago when I moved a sofa and there was some, we called it pony parts. He shed prolifically, and it was a big clump of his hair. It must have clearly got stuck to the bottom of the sofa, but anyway, it just brought back a lot of tears. It brought back a lot of fresh memories, but good stuff too. Through your closeness with Logan, you feel droopy. I think that is huge, Pat, and that all of us, part of Gary's work also is that through them, we are able to feel not just our other animal companions, but there may be people that we can connect with through them. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we talk about our hearts. The rating thing is back. Oh yeah, I try. I don't see it right now, so maybe what I did worked, because I don't see it right now like that. It just came up as a silly little crown, and it's unnecessary. It just adds an unnecessary level of some unnecessariness. Did you see the latest theory about the universe might have been formed in a spinning black hole? And I wonder if this affects the past lives that we've had. So I could go way down the rabbit hole with this. It goes far beyond anything that has to do with SoulPet. We've talked about reincarnation. We've talked about past lives. We've talked about our last week even was pets and past lives. Or that might have been the week before. Regardless, pets and past lives. What does that have to do with anything? Absolutely nothing, Pat. You don't have to worry about that. There are so many theories about black holes, that there are so many black holes out there that they're uncountable, that we haven't even begun to understand their role in the creation of the universe. I think that there's so much about the universe that we cannot comprehend in our little human bodies and our little human brains. It's going to take us going back to the other side before we have a full understanding. Like people who have near-death experiences, they have NDEs, they come back from the other side gone, what I know is that in a flash, I knew everything. I was greeted by this beautiful, peaceful being. I was in a place of total, the purest calm, and no words to describe the level of love and peace that I felt. And I instantaneously knew everything, the answer to everything. When they came back into the physical body, those answers were gone. They weren't permitted to bring it with them. But that's why I think that there's so much more than we can possibly begin to understand. And so my suggestion to everyone about everything that I say, about everything that you may be exploring on other spiritual channels, on other metaphysical channels, whether it's science or spirituality, that you leave room for possibility, that you set aside your disbelief, suspend your disbelief, even if it's just for a moment or two, allowing that little wedge, that little crack for the possibility of everything that is. I think it's way more than we can even guess at. I think there's so much more to it, and that we are just one little planet on a tiny, vast universe that continues to grow exponentially as fast as we are growing here on Earth. So think about this. I was watching a podcast that suggested that up until maybe 5,000 years ago, we had our first doubling of information. So the planet as a whole came alive, say 5,000 years ago. And then just in 1 year, we've doubled all of the information that we know. Everything we possibly know has just doubled in the past year, and it's going to double again tomorrow. It's going to keep on exponentially growing, because the more we know, the more we can know, the more we're able to know. And that's just here on planet Earth. So if we think, I'm keeping technology in mind. Think about technology, how quickly it's grown. A year ago, people were barely using AI, and now people are using it to help them write the most common emails. I told you that I don't have the book here handy with me, but I want to explore the spirituality element of AI. So I'm reading the book Digital Dharma by Deepak Chopra, because I want to explore all the possibilities. I leave myself open to all possibilities. But since Earth and people are awakening and our knowledge is growing that fast, think about the whole universe. As we expand, the universe expands. Every bit of new information expands the universe. Every conversation that we have like this expands the universe. It doesn't just expand human consciousness and our connection and our awakening, it expands everything. So that was a long answer to the black hole question. I think there's so much more than we can possibly know, and leave your mind open to all the possibilities. Your past lives do not disappear. They're all together. They're all on top of each other. They're not actually linear. You don't have to travel back through regression 500 years to find out that you were Joan of Arc. It's all together, and you can access any of it through the Akashic records. It's a whole topic for another time, but universal memory stores all of it. It's where all of these memories are. It's how I can connect with your animal companions, because everything about them is now part of the universal memory. So all I have to do is like a file cabinet, and I close my eyes, I go into a meditation, I go through my little file cabinet, I pick up Gary, and I say, Gary, Please tell me everything that you would like me to know. Now, it's like going to a library. If you had 100 reference books, you're not going to be able to read them all. So I asked for the Cliff Notes. I asked Gary to share with me the most important messages. And then I put his little file back and closed my drawer. And that is how we can all access it. It's not a magical gift just for me. I hope that with each and every one of these live streams, I can convince you that you have the ability to receive this information. Pat, I know you know it. Aaron, who I haven't seen here for a little while with his dog Kuda, I know he knows it. Sherry, I know that you know. I know all of you know it deep down. And for anyone who still needs to be convinced, I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to encourage you to try, to be open to the possibility. And your animal companion on the other side, and those who still share our space with us, but your animal companion on the other side is like chomping at the bit, ready, ready, ready to connect with you, and will do anything in their power. It's why they send us signs. It's why they send us messages. Not to say, here I am, look at me, aren't I pretty in the clouds? It's, aren't I pretty in the clouds? Because here I am, and I want you to connect with me. I have messages to share with you. I have things to share with you that will make your life easier. I have things to share with you now that I am your partner on the other side of life, where I now know everything. I can guide you. I can guide you to take the next steps. I can guide you where you want to be. Don't know where all that just came from. So thank you, Pat, for the black holes. Charlie, why is it when I think about my pet, sometimes I literally start crying like a dog or whining? So at first this question threw me because I'm not really sure why that would happen. Like I haven't ever heard before of somebody saying that they sounded like their dog, or that they sounded like their cat, or they began to whinny like a horse. I just haven't heard that. But then I thought, oh, but yes, I have. When people channel, called trance channeling, when people channel, so they're channeling like Lee Carroll channels an ET called Cryon, and when he channels that, his voice changes. It completely changes. Some people who channel, which means to receive a message from another soul on the other side, and on the other side, just out there in the field of all potential, when they receive that information, their voice changes. Sometimes it goes higher, sometimes it takes on an accent, sometimes it goes lower, sometimes it goes faster, sometimes it becomes just different. That may be the same thing. You may be channeling your animal companions in a way that you sound like them. Then there are those who speak light language. If you've never heard of that, go ahead and listen to it. I have not ever found a real connection to someone who speaks light language. I've tried because I love to explore. Light language is when they speak a completely, there's no words. It's a totally different language, an off-planet language. So I say that there's no right or wrong, that there are no rules, that the possibilities are endless. So it could just be that you are channeling your animal in that way. I'm going to scroll down real fast. Charlie, I'm so happy that Nico has been able to connect with you in such a way. And I'm a recovering Catholic. I was born and raised Catholic. You guys know, we joke about the nuns. In fact, my husband and I just watched Sister Act last night, and it's just such a cute little movie. But it made me think of all the personalities of the different nuns I've encountered in my life. So shout out to the nuns. And yes, in Catholicism, it's one of those weird things. They just pick the things that they're gonna, like Reiki, like you're excommunicated if you practice Reiki in the Catholic Church. Oh, well. I let all that go. Organized religion, I've long since lost any connection to. All right, let's keep on going. Dana, hello. Did I say hi to Dana? I don't remember if I did. Hello, Dana in New Zealand. All right, so that might be all the questions for right now. Storm is moving in over the house. A neighbor died, found days later, and I fought to get the dog out of there. Okay, that does happen every once in a while, Sherry. I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but I appreciate that you at least were able to go through it. I know you and all that you've been through and all that you have done to help raise your own self-awareness and your own connection with animals. So it sounds like it would have been traumatic, to say the least, but you were there for a reason. You were there for a reason. Whenever I see my name, I just missed it. I saw someone wrote Elaine in caps, so I better don't feel guilty. Um, no one else can have her. Okay. All right. I'm going to let all that go for right now. Jesse, good to see you. My dog Bella definitely channels her two brothers who passed away. She does things that they do that the nuns. Yeah, that's common when we talk about reincarnation. Came up for another animal companion earlier this week. It was more like an instantaneous reincarnation. One of my a client who has come to me for assistance as her animal companion was preparing to cross, um, and immediately, like the very next day, another dog showed up that looks almost identical. So, but was born prior to her dog crossing. So, how can that be reincarnation? Because there are no rules. And if that's the way that our animal companions are orchestrating their return back to the physical, then who am I to say that it's not reincarnation? Okay, let's talk a little bit more about our heart will go on. This came up for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is that as I'm researching all of these things about spirituality and trying to, it's like I want to seek the connection to my highest self. And I caught a couple different interviews. I watch all different kinds of people and listen to different things. And then I read books and I explore because I want to learn all these things. And part of what came to me was that we are preparing here in our physical bodies. Part of the reason that we're here is not just to live and explore, because we have senses. We've come into a physical body to have a physical experience. We want to be able to taste and touch and smell and play and run in the snow and jump into the ocean. And we want to be able to experience all the physical things that we can experience when we don't have a body. So when we leave our body and it's just our soul's essence, our spirit, our energy, that we can't reach out and touch. So we can't even, I don't know if we could or not, but I guess I'll find out at some point, hear the ocean. I remember telling you guys that I was standing at the top of a mountain and I could see like all the mountains as far as they could go. And I just welcomed my father to see things through my eyes. And I could feel not my vision, it just shifted a little bit as if it wasn't necessarily me, but allowing him to see again because he loved the mountains, allowing him to see again. So we came into these bodies to experience the physical experience. Set aside all the other BS that we have cooked up. Honestly, I we have cooked up so much drama that that we need to let some of that go. But the physical experience in the body is what we came here for. But I think we came here for another reason too. I think we came here, I'm going to use the word ascend. And I know that sometimes that word has religious connotations, but ascend, meaning we are here to rise up to the next level, our soul to rise up to the next level. And the only way to do that is to take the physical experience that we have right now and change it a little bit, to do things, explore things, talk about things, learn that we're connected to souls on the other side. Because as we do it, as this we have a little community here, as we rise up out of the depth of grief and recognize that we're connected with a tether, heart to heart. And I'm pointing at this heart, even though what I mean is the spiritual heart, and it lifts us up. And as we lift up, we can become even closer to our higher self. So our higher self, I'm going to try to explain this in words. We'll see if I can do it. Our higher self is the part of our soul that resides in that field of infinite potential. Only part of us has come down here. And what we want to do is rejoin everything together. And it won't be the same as before we came here. It will be different. And because we will have learned so much and experienced so much and recognized how aware and connected we are and how much of we're not separated. We're all one, that we're all together, that every single one of us is connected to everything else, every plant, every drop of water, every grain of sand. We're connected. And when we realize that connection, it helps the whole universe rise up. So we are literally ascending. The universe will never be the same again because you were born. And I think our animal companions are helping us to achieve that growth, to achieve that personal growth. I say that like you're not perfect and that you're not exact perfect just the way you are, but going for that next level, going for that next level. That's what. So anyway, that's where it came from because I was exploring how pets might be teachers, not just teachers, but helping us to become aware. And how are they helping us? They're helping us because they transition. They transition sooner than we do, much sooner. Sometimes it's only after a brief period of time. Sometimes they do spend their entire life with us, but regardless, normally, for the most part, it is they who cross first. And when they do, they access the information that they can feed back to us when we can raise ourselves out of the grief, then we can connect with them, feeling that heart-to-heart connection. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Let's talk first. I'm going to just back the bus up a little bit, talking about the heart with no limits, that there are no limits to our heart. Nobody has ever like had a heart, like a physical heart. The thing, it's an organ, it's a muscle. It is our circulatory system. It pumps the blood all through our body. It keeps us moving. When when the heart beats in a rhythm, and we try to, we are taking care of our heart. We want to, we want to take care of our physical heart, and it has a physical function. But that other heart, nobody has ever taken a heart from a physical body, done an autopsy, opened it up and said, "Oh, look, there's the chamber that holds all the love. You have the left chamber, the right chamber, the ventricle, and there's the one that holds all the love." It doesn't work that way, right? We feel that love here, but that's not where it's stored. It is way outside of us. It is in every fiber of our being, and it is everywhere. Love is the fabric of the universe. And when we are growing that love, we are growing the universe. So the spiritual heart, I guess, the spiritual heart is the vessel that holds all the love. It creates the love, holds the love, shares the love, feels the love. And when we are left behind, so our animal companion crosses to the other side, we feel left behind. What they're trying to share with us, I am so confident in this, is that we are not left behind. They are paving the way. They are being the pioneers. They are going out ahead of us to prepare the way for us so that when it comes our time to cross, we understand fully what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. It allows us to let go of the fear of death. It allows us to let go of the question, I wonder if this is it. Like, is this really it? Is this all I have? I mean, is this all I've got? Seriously. And no, they're here to pave the way to show us that there's so much more. So back to the heart that has no limits. I'm just going to look at my notes real quick because I've gotten off track a little bit. When a heart physically stops, the love doesn't stop. It doesn't stop at all. So anybody who has ever felt love after they're, even a person, doesn't matter, whatever and whatever animal you happen to have loved, if they have crossed to the other side, the love hasn't stopped. And you don't need to go anywhere to find them. So you don't need to do anything special. I meditate. I enjoy meditating. I love going into a quiet space where nothing interrupts me. I'm in darkness. I don't have any sound coming through. For me, that gives me an immediate connection to the field of all potential. But you don't need to do that because they're already finding you. It's like a fingerprint. Your heart is like a fingerprint for them. Your heart signature matches their heart signature, and you don't have to figure it out. You don't have to go, oh gosh, I wonder if my heart matches today. That they'll do all that. You don't have to worry about that. They're instantly able to connect to you because your heart signature is unique to you and it's unique to them, and their heart signature is unique to you. So that's the heart that has no limits. It goes on forever. Part 2. Our animal companions are preparing us. This is where I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit. But before I get on to the animal companions preparing us, I can see lots of comments scrolling by, so I'm going to take a quick peek. Truly is Ozzy starting to step out, open up love. Okay, I'm letting you guys chit chat amongst yourselves. Okay, so you guys can get, I love the support that you give to each other. Absolutely love the support. And for all of you who may be joining this, it's 10 years from this live stream and this video pops up for you because your animal companion is crossed. Know that you are thought of. Know that people 10 years before you, because there's no such thing as linear time, that we are giving you a virtual hug. And you can tell just by looking at all the comments that we support each other on every step of our journey. So our animal companions are preparing us. They are not just comforting us, they are teaching us. One of the questions that, and Kali, if I can say this because it was one of the questions that you had asked, was why did Gary cross so young? And the answer was very clear, and I'll give it to you in just a minute, but because it doesn't matter the age. They've come here to connect with us in a certain way. They created the soul connection. The soul connection is so strong, you know it, and then they now transfer, maybe that's not a bad word, transition, transcend to the infinite field of all knowledge and all potential and all love, so that they can be even better than they were when they were with you here, and they have access to so much more to be able to help you. But we'll talk a little bit more about that when I do the little reading for Gary. So they are teaching us how to feel beyond the physical. Our first reaction, and I am convinced that we are often trained about this reaction. Our first reaction is to just be crushed, to be sad. And I think that we sometimes feel that we're supposed to feel that way. We're supposed to be just absolutely heartbroken and bereft when someone that we love crosses to the other side. And it's a sadness to miss their physical presence. They're trying to teach us that we need to start feeling beyond the physical. We've said this many times, all of us, myself included, have said how much we miss the physical sensation of them. I miss holding Winston, curling him up right here. He loved to hug me right here under the chin. I miss holding Winston in that right here, just snuggle, snuggle, snuggle. He's my little snuggleupicus. I miss that snuggle. What they're trying to teach us is that we need to see beyond the physical, and there's so much more, and let them wrap us in a virtual hug. Let Winston wrap me in a virtual hug, and let I'm trying to think of names, let Piper and Phoebe, and let them all just wrap you, Scout, let them wrap you in beautiful hugs. So they are guiding us to awaken spiritually. So this is kind of where I go down the spiritual rabbit hole, because I think that this is very true, that they are, what's the lesson they're trying to teach us? It's not just to live. It is to live. So much of what they want us to do is actually do the thing we came here to do, which is experience something in this physical body. You guys know me. I was in corporate forever. I did all the things that I was supposed to do. I followed everybody's advice against what my heart knew to be true. I was told not to become a vet tech because all I'd be doing is scooping poop all day. I was told not to become a marine biologist because there's no money in that. I was told not to become a zoologist. I mean, all the things that I was told not to do. I was told I couldn't be a veterinarian because I wasn't smart enough. And so I just, you should go to school for business. So that's what I did. I sure hope that I can help guide some other people to go with the decisions that they know are right in their heart. But that's kind of what our animal companions are trying to do for us. They're trying to get us back on the yellow brick road. They're trying to get us back to the path that is meant for us. And you're not going to miss it. You're not going to say, oh, darn, I missed my chance. I was 52, guys. 52 when it hit me that I had been doing it all wrong. And so I decided to change my perspective. I decided to think of, oh, I was only 52. What a youngster I was. I still have another at least 50 years to go. So we can rewrite this story. And that's how I choose to do that, rewrite the story. So their gift to us, our animal companions' gift to us is when they've taught us unconditional love here. They know all of our darkest secrets. They know everything about us. They don't judge us for it. They love us regardless of our sins. And I use that word lightly. They love us no matter what. And then once they transition to the other side, they are showing us that we're still tethered. I've really grown fond of that word tethered, that even though they have left their physical body, there is something connecting. I'm still pointing to the physical heart, but it's everywhere. There is a tether that comes in from the field of all potential, and it connects us always. It can't be cut. It can't be broken. There's no cutting the cord. There's no they're part of us. They are a part of our soul that came here to help us in the physical, that now transition to the other side and can help us even more from the non-physical. Their heart recognizes us instantly. What is the language? They never stop speaking the universal language of love. The universal language of love. You know what that is. It is not romance. It's not you love a piece of chocolate pie. It's not it's not that love. It is the love that runs so deep that you can feel it in every fiber of your being. You know that it's there. You know it. You can feel it. You can reach it. And even when you're feeling your saddest, you go for it anyway. You feel that love anyhow because it opens the door. That is the tether that connects you to your animal companion on the other side. I think I mentioned energetic signature already, that their soul knows your soul because it's all part of the same soul. You're together. They just came in as a different piece of that soul. They're forever SoulPet. There's a reason I call it that. It's because, and pet, I'm not fond of the word pet. Don't like the word pet owner. It implies that we can actually own them like a piece of jewelry or a car. It's not like that at all. They are a companion. They are our companions forever. So no searching required. They know you, you know them, and you don't need to go very far in order to reconnect with them again. And for whatever reason, I was inspired by beautiful Lucy to create this channel. And I don't even know where I'm going with this channel. And sometimes the live streams ramble, and sometimes I don't do all the things that YouTube expects you to do. And I don't care because none of that matters. None of that matters. So what? You got a little purple crown next to your name that makes me crazy. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Our animals are going, give me the purple crown, give me the purple crown. It doesn't matter because all that matters is that we wrap ourselves in this beautiful energetic field of love, and their love knows us and we know them. Okay, so I want to give a couple examples, which I think I already did. I see lots of comments rolling by. I'm talking about our animal companions, not husbands. Oh gosh, I'm going to have to go up and see what some of those comments were. I actually didn't, and I think it would be shut down completely and be upset that Oz tried to take over. Okay, I'm going to have to catch up on some of those conversations. They are family and kids, 100%. But they're definitely family, but they're more than family. It's more than family. They're us. They are a reflection of us. They mirror us. When I'm just going to digress for just a moment. When they come here to be in the physical with us, this is part of what I think they're teaching us. When I say, all right, I'm just going to go for it here. When I say that they are teaching us how to ascend, they are teaching us how to prepare ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, so that when our time does come, our transition is one of peace and calm and ease, and we are prepared and ready. And so that when we cross to the other side and all of a sudden have access to all the information that ever is and ever was and ever will be, we know what to do next. And then we're going to have choices to make. But part of that is with the physical. I'm just going to touch on this real briefly because I don't want to be a judgment for anybody. Please know that I don't judge anybody for anything. I know that we do the best we can with what we have at any moment in time. I know that I would do things completely differently for Jack and Lucy. I did not have my spiritual awakening until they had been part of my life for quite some time. I was the corporate type A control freak. I went to work. I left at the house at like 7. I would get up at 5 in the morning to go to the gym. So I let them out real quick. They pottied, they got fed, and what they got fed was kibble. And they spent the day together alone while I went to the office. I spent hours at the office. I traveled for work. They were often alone. My kids ended up having the same kind of schedule that we all hyper schedule our children. And so they didn't have the attention that I would have given them. Not only did they not have the attention, they didn't even have the nutrition. They didn't have, there was so much, there's so much now that if I look back on it, I would change all the way. What did that do for me? I could sit here in guilt and regret and remorse, and it makes me cry a little bit saying those words, but I could sit here and go, God, I sucked. But I don't. Instead, I choose Gypsy. I brought Gypsy into my, I brought Gypsy in. Who am I kidding? Gypsy brought herself into my life. And now I know how to be a better person and a better animal companion. And Gypsy receives my undivided attention. And Gypsy receives the best nutrition. And why do I bring that up? Because I believe that some of our habits, our stress-filled daily lives, the overindulgence that we have in processed food, the ways that we care for ourselves or don't physically, I think our animals are mirroring that back to us. And some of them cross from a disease. And again, no judgment. I'm just stating I'm trying to say this as matter of factly as possible. Some animals, I don't want to pick anything that's going to really hurt anybody's, hurt your heart. An animal may develop a disease that's a direct result of stress. That's a direct result of their nutrition. And they cross to the other side. Their person wakes up like me and says, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. And we do the ho'oponopono, which forgives ourselves. We did the best we could with what we had at that moment in time. And now we are better for it. We are better companions. We are better guardians. We are better caretakers, better partners, better companions. And that changes everything for all animals. Oh, I got a little fly here. Hang on. Happens every once in a while. That changes everything for all animals. When we can change the life for one animal, we impact the lives of all animals. So we are, all of us who have brought in another animal to our home. And if you haven't, you will when you are ready. When you are ready, your animal companion, I'm thinking of Pockets, is going to present you with an opportunity that you won't be able to say no to. And you'll know it deep in your heart because it's going to be based in love, that happens. Again, I didn't mean to get so far off track. Saying that my dog is a reflection of me is such a compliment. Oh, that's beautiful, Z. Yep. Pockets was on my mind, as a matter of fact. Okay, so let's talk about reconnecting beyond the veil. I call it the veil, beyond the veil. We don't have any words for this. We really don't have a way to explain where we are and where they are. We come up with concepts like the Rainbow Bridge. It's a place where they go and wait for us to cross, but it's not like that at all because they're not waiting patiently. They're not even waiting impatiently. They are active in our life right now, active partners. So that beyond the veil, it's just that we cannot see. Usually there's a handful of people that can see through the veil. We cannot see them on the other side, but we can feel them. So they're teaching us how to feel them. They're showing us how we can feel them using our spiritual heart, the heart that is everything. I know that, Pat, you've known it with Logan, and I already said Aaron and Kuda, myself and Lucy. I mean, I feel Lucy not just next to me. I feel her inside me. Like I feel Lucy in all of my being. I said this recently to a group that, because Lucy, I was inspired to have her tattooed on my arm the night that she came to me in a dream, the night that she crossed, and it was so vivid. She came to me as a wolf, and I knew that was her higher self. And I had her tattooed on my arm so that I would always, always have her right here. I see her every single day. Every single day I look at her. And so I was meditating the other day and I just had the insight that what if it's a self-portrait? Like, what if she has become such a part of me that we're together now, like intertwined. Our souls are together existing in this body. And what I've got on there is a self-portrait. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so messages from the other side. It's not proof. It's not validation. It's not saying, see, I'm here. It is that. I mean, it is proof when they send us messages and signs from the other side, but it's more than that. It is about showing us that there is more to this experience than we are giving it, that we are able to not just connect with them and say, I'd love for you to come to me in a dream. I would love to receive a sign. I would love to hear your nails clicking on the floor. I would love to, like Jack, drinking out of the toilet bowl. I'd love to hear that sound again, just to remind me that you're still with me. It's more than that. They want us to know that when our grief settles and we can open our heart again, that the signal gets real clear, that the signal gets so clear that we know it's not just signs that we're receiving. It is their, it's communication. It's not just signs that we're receiving. They're communicating with us in the only way that they have available to them. And that communication contains information that we can ask them, information that we may not even know to ask them. So they just share it with us. The doors fly wide open. Then I'm also going to say, this is not about magical powers. It's not about ESP. It's not about psychic abilities, even though I teach a psychic development class. But I wish I had a different word. I teach a class about awakening your senses to their highest ability, to your extra sensory perception. That's what that is about. And that's what they're doing for us. They are we don't have magic powers. We're not going to spin a pencil around in the air. I mean, maybe somebody can. We're not going to pull the paper clip across across the desk. The book pages aren't going to turn by themselves. This is about extra sensory perception, being able to perceive their love, their existence, their messages on the other side of the veil, this veil that just keeps us from seeing it. That's why we call it a veil, because we just can't quite see through it. We know that they're there, but we can't quite make out who they are. So they are teaching us, and here is what they are teaching us. Besides the fact that love transcends all things and it's everywhere, and it's what connects us and tethers us, they're teaching us that there is no death. It's not a thing. There is no such thing as death. There is such a thing as leaving our physical body, but it's ascension. It is transformation. It is, what's the other word that I used recently? I said transfer, transformation, transcending, transitioning, but that's what it is. It is about us understanding that this is barely the beginning. We have just scratched the surface of our existence, and that's what they're teaching us. There's no death. There's only change. There's only change. There's no death. There is only us. There is only love, and that's it. So I would love to just go through some questions real quick. Elaine, see the above comment by Charlie. I'm going to scroll. Read the above. You guys are killing me. Hold on. See, I have to I actively ignore the chat when I get on a message. So otherwise I get so distracted. You guys know me, I get distracted. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. I see all the little Elaine, I saw a black cat with a white little chest behind you about 5 minutes ago. Oh, Charlie. Awesome. Oh my gosh, a little black cat with a white chest. I wonder who that could be. I'm not 100% sure who that could be. It could be any number of animal companions. I don't have any I have no doubts. I have no questions. I have no I completely believe that all of our animal companions, all of your animal companions have connected with me, and I just let them run free. They run all around the room, run wherever you want to go, jump into my lap. I love them. I love every last one of them. And I love that they have awakened this in me. I love that they have shown me, and that they are, I let myself be used. Go ahead, use me. I let myself be used so that I can help you guys. So who's got the black cat with the white chest that was just running behind? Oh, all right. I don't know, but somebody will better comment about that. And practicing with your gifts. I hope that all of you practice with your gifts. Practice with your gifts. And sometimes it helps to practice with, before you start practicing with your own animal companion, it helps to practice with others. There's not that, that deep, I mean, and we know them so well, but that really deep personal connection that sometimes we hold back being able to connect with them. So sometimes it helps to play with other animal companions. But yes, step into that. Step into that beautiful gift. We are all able to. We are all able to. Maybe the message was for one of our cats in here. Oh, please don't feel silly. Not at all. Dana, check your last comment. Okay, hold on. Let's check. Let's go up and check Dana's. Dana. I'm trying to find it, Dana. Maybe it was Missy. Even if I had human children, there would still be fur babies. Thank you for sharing your story. Okay. I'm not sure, Dana. I'm not sure what you that maybe that it was your cat. I suspect. I mean, there would not be any other cat running through except it was meant to be seen here. Yes, and don't anybody ever feel silly about this. If anybody ever feels silly, you reach out to me and I will help you get past the silliness. If anybody needs to needs to question themselves and question their sanity and think about feeling silly, it would be me. And I've let all of that go. There's no such. We are afraid. That's half the reason why we don't explore this, and why we say maybe someday I'll do a psychic development class, because we think that we're going to get judged. So don't tell anybody. Don't tell it. I kept this a secret for a long, long time. I was in the spiritual closet for a long time. And then when I came out of the closet, I just figured, oh, I'm just going to throw it. I'm just going to put it all out there. And half my family thinks that I've gone crazy, and I don't care. And you know what? They don't care either, because when they need, like when something happens for one of their friends or family, or even themselves, they'll come to me and ask, do you think that you could do something to help Ellie? Yeah. So don't worry about feeling silly. Okay, let's Dana said to check her. Oh, to check for her email. Okay, I'll have to go back and check the email, Dana. I'll have to go back and do it. All right, so let's do this little reading right now. I'm going to tell you why I chose to do this live reading for Gary, and that is because my phone died. I've been a little lazy bones. I do these short videos for YouTube. I film them on my phone. I have a little selfie stick here. Yeah, behind the scenes tour. I have a little selfie stick. I pop my cell phone in after I sit down with a meditation, and then I write down the information that I receive. I put my little phone in here and I film away. And I try to do a couple of them because when I get in a groove, like when I can, there's just like a connection there, and I can feel all the animals kind of waiting in line. So I do a bunch of them right in a row. And they are all locked in this phone that won't do anything except the alarms keep going off. Alarm after anything, any reminder that I had set for myself. Thank you. I can't see what it is. But anyway, so all my little videos are trapped in here. My son-in-law is going to help me retrieve them. But talk about reincarnation. It did make me go out and get a brand new phone. So I have one old phone and my beautiful new one that has an amazing camera for going forward. But anyway, neither here nor there. You guys don't need to know about all that. Reincarnation of phones. But I decided then that I knew that one of those videos was specifically for Gary. And so I just want to do this little reading for Gary. And I asked Gary right before I went live. I sat down, looked at Gary's photos, and just asked for some messages. And I was inspired to pull 2 cards. And so I did pull 2 cards. I pulled the snake. So Pat, I used the Animal Spirit Guidebook, and I pulled the snake, and I'll tell you what came through about those. And I also pulled the hawk. So these were the 2 cards that I pulled. And by saying pulled, I shuffled them until a card falls out, and 2 fell out. And this was it, the hawk and the snake. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that, about what they mean. I'm just checking comments. Do you have a black? Okay, I'm just going to let that go for now. Gary's message. What lessons? That was one of your questions. What lessons did Gary have to teach you? I think so much of everything that we covered tonight were the lessons that he needed to get through to you. There's more to that though, because especially when I pulled the cards, the lessons are how to ascend. So I think that we've said this before, Kali, and and I know that this is true for so many of us, that we are holding ourselves back from something. There is either an obligation, or there are, for me, like there's family obligations. There are any number of obligations that we might have, or that we might think that we are stuck with, that it's nothing that you can get out of. And we need to kind of shift the perspective. And that is was that the snake? The snake was about shifting perspective. No, the hawk. The hawk was about shifting perspective. So this card was all about taking a whole new view of things. And when you do that, you will know what it is that you're supposed to do. When you let go of the old story that you're telling yourself. Now, I'm saying you, I'm not finger pointing, you need to do this, you need, I don't like to do that. This could be a message for just for any number of us, that we need to change the old story that we're telling ourselves and look at it from a different perspective. So flip it around backwards. I am stuck in the job that I have to do and there's no way out of it. Yeah, I've been there. I have absolutely been there, thinking that I had golden handcuffs, that if I walked away from my job, that my family would end up in the poorhouse, that we wouldn't have food on the table. I wouldn't, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And part of the reason for this is that our animals on the other side of life that are teaching us how this connection is still there and how they now have access to information that we can't possibly see, they will throw out the net. They will put we take the leap and they will put out the net. They will the universe through them will orchestrate the things that need to happen in order, because we are meant to do the thing that we're meant to do. So, Kali, I don't know enough about you personally to say that I know you should be doing X, Y, or Z. All I know is that there's something else you're meant to do. And if you don't know what that is, you can find out. You can find out by asking. It does take a lot of many of the things that I talk about take a little bit of work. I don't even like to use the word work, but it means that you do have to find a few quiet moments a day. And maybe it doesn't happen all at once. Maybe it happens over a little period of time as you give yourself more and more time every day to reflect on the things that are really important to you. And then ask the question of your animal companion, trusting that they know the answer. And then you write it down. I know I sound like a broken record when I say that, but you write it down, because when we write, it's like we're taking the information from the field and making it into something concrete. And then we can look at it and say yes. And then, so we look at it. We look at that piece of information and say, seriously, that's what you want me to do? I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. I want to do that, but how can I possibly make that happen? You ask those questions again. You continue through a series of, I'm going to use the word meditations, but conversations. This is a participatory universe. We are not just stuck here without just playing some role that we were dumped into. It's a participatory universe. And what that means is that we have the ability to communicate back and forth. And we can do that directly with source, directly with the universe. I've said it before. I do it all the time. I say, you know what? That experiment really sucked. And I don't want to go through that again. So let's pick a different course of action this time. Show me. And I had this conversation with the universe, God, Allah, source, Buddha, the divine, whatever you want to call it, whatever that higher power is for you. I have the conversation and I give feedback. And from that feedback, I receive inspiration about what the next step is that I can take. Our animal companions are like a little intermediary because we trust them. We know that they would never lie to us, deceive us, trick us. When we go directly to source or the universe, sometimes we go, am I making this up? Like, is this all in my mind? But when we go to our animal companion on the other side, we trust that they are giving them the information that we've asked for, because they just know, and we know them, and we trust the information that they give us. So you can sit down and ask your animal companion, just for today, tell me the number one thing that I should be doing today. Whatever it is, I don't care how small it is, how little it is, whatever that nudge is that you want me to know, share it with me right now and write it down. You're going to get the answer. And if you question it, don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Make it easy, quick, short, receive that piece of information. Kali, all that just came through from that wasn't even part of what I had written down. All that just came through from Gary about how they can get information to us. The other question that you had, and this is, I'm gonna go into my religious upbringing, which was Catholic, and fundamentalist Christians would say it's not Christian, but it was all about a belief in Jesus. Why did he pass so young? And he says he didn't feel young, but it's not that it doesn't have anything to do with young, that that time doesn't matter whatsoever. And then he gave me the example. He said, in dog years, I was close to 30 years old. It's not old, but it's not young. And if you look at at the greatest disciple, Jesus, I just said that. I don't, yeah, and there are many, many ascended disciples that I think are amazing. Buddha, Jesus. But Jesus died at 33 years old. And so it's just as if he reached his point where it was time for him to ascend, because from his place on the other side, he can help you even more than he could have when he was here. So that's why he crossed so young. The other thing was the snake. So the snake, Holly, was a very interesting card. I'm just going to hold this up here if you can see the snake. The snake is eternal. You see that, I mean, the way this depiction of the snake eating it, the tail, it's just about a constant cycle of rebirth. It's about unawakened magic. And this time I am going to use the word magic. It's about unawakened magic. There is something within you that has been resting. It's been lying dormant and it is ready to be birthed. So again, you may know what that is, but there is something about to awaken that is going to let you experience your highest potential. It's going to let you step into that thing that you want to do. And it is just waiting for you to open the door. And that's what comes through for the snake. So the snake and the hawk. And that is the beautiful message from Gary, who had so much more to say than I expected. All right, so let me look at some of the comments here. Work career is definitely holding me in a certain spot. Okay, I love that. I absolutely love that. Work and your career is holding you in a certain spot. I want you to be open to the possibilities that anything could change at any moment in time. I just explained that little story that I thought I was also being held back. I mean, I was in a corporate career. I mean, all the perks that come along with being a corporate executive. That's what I had, except for the feeling of fulfillment. And in fact, just the opposite, the feeling of having the energy and the life sucked right out of me. And so you just take baby steps, baby steps. If you can't leave, and this is for anybody who might feel that they might be stuck in a certain place, if you feel that you can't leave that place, just take a baby step, read a book, do a meditation, listen to a podcast, do one thing, one little thing, like, I don't know, if you're being called to write a book, at least write out the chapters of your book. I did that once. I once wrote out the chapters of a book and just left it in a little folder called my book. Do anything, one little step, baby steps. Mike Dooley is the one. I learned this saying from him. I have to give credit to Mike Dooley. Anybody who's not watched Mike Dooley, you should go check him out. He's still one of my earliest heroes, one of my earliest spiritual gurus, who taught me to lob the softball and let the universe hit the home run for you. So one little baby step is all you need to take, and trust that the universe is going to swing away and knock it out of the park for you. So one little step at a time, and they will all add up over time until you get to the place you need to be. Going through health stuff. Okay. So a change may be forced depending on the medical stuff. All right. So you'll, one step at a time. And while that all works itself out, trust that the universe is rearranging everything. Even as you say those things, the universe is rearranging things. So you do what you can. What is your role in helping that change come through, even if it's one little baby step at a time? Have a look at my comment about the snakes. Okay. Snakes. I definitely need to write things down. I know what it is. Hold on. I'm trying to go back and find. Oh boy, I don't see a comment about the snakes. There's so many comments. I'm sorry. The heartwarming thing is that you feel like I feel like I know all your animal companions. Um, that's a great reading. Oh shoot, I don't see anything about a snake. All right, I'm sorry. I will have to go back and check, but I don't see anything about snakes. I have a look at my comment about the snakes. I'm so funny. Right. I crack myself up every day. All right. Well, write things down where I'm going to scroll back a little bit further. Before losing Gary. Oh, there we go. Got it. Before losing Gary, 3 days in a row, I found a dead snake. 3 snakes in 3 days. Okay. So, once again, that I would take that even you wouldn't know it at the time, but that is Gary telling you that he is crossing to the other side to help get you all the answers that you need to help you make this transition from point A to point B. Okay, my friends, we are at the closing time. So I want to thank you for joining me. I want to thank you for supporting each other. I want everybody who's watching this video at any point in time, past, present, or future, to know that people here support you, that you are loved, that you are receiving a giant virtual hug, that your animal companion is still tethered to you, and you are able to connect and communicate with them in order to help your life rise up. All right, so you are all still connected. You will always be. And I think that's it. So may your soul pet, all of them, whoever they are, let them be the ones who light your way. Okay, my friends, have a good night. Love you guys so much. Take care, everybody. See you next week. Here we go, maybe. See ya.